You guys, happy Saturday, happy hot Saturday. We are in East Hollywood with scooter adults on sidewalk. Gay Pride is happening in West Hollywood. We thought about going. I think we mentioned it a couple times. I'm just a little paranoid about getting any strikes for lewdness. Although the West Hollywood Pride is pretty corporate. Um, we were just on Sunset. We're gonna walk down Fountain. I'm gonna try to find the shadiest way through East Hollywood. We're gonna definitely walk to Barnsdall. I think that's the main point here. Happy Saturday, Nomad. Um, an alley. Let's take this alley. I might sit right over here for a couple seconds. So we didn't end up going to Pride today. We might go tomorrow, I think afternoon, but the next weekend I didn't want any strikes, but also I'm just, when the connection's not good, it's not fun for people to watch. It's also not fun for me to stream as much because then I'm just looking at that the whole time. So I think next Saturday we're going to try tethering again to get the best bandwidth possible. And next Saturday and Sunday, more like our hometown is Hollywood Pride. So we're gonna go to that. I kind of like it better. It doesn't feel as commercial. It certainly is, but it just doesn't feel as commercial. It feels grittier somehow. So I think it's like 89 degrees, so almost 90. I tried to wait, actually it's 86, 81. The temperature has dropped. I really wanted to wait for the temperature to go down somewhat today because heat is oppressive. Right? I'm not melting yet. I've only just begun, and I've been walking in the shade. But coming up here, where the Kaiser Permanente building is, there's not a lot of shade. Maybe the Scientology Center will let me in. I think I'd have better luck at this self-realization fellowship building. I'd be way more into that. Self-realization fellowship. Hey, I'm sure it's like a really great and noble organization, but the title sounds very, very LA to me. But it's way more important than that. So the Self-Realization Fellowship is Church of all religions. And it's a historical spot too. Really lovely little piece of property in there. And also part of the rich religious history of East Hollywood. Uh, I want to kind of do a loop down to Fountain. So that's a Scientology building over there, formerly the Cedars of Lebanon, tuberculosis ward. There's these little complexes to the right of me, and I'm gonna kind of angle. It's old, like Hollywood style living, but the windows are all papered up, and as long as I can remember walking by them, they're maintained, but they're almost not lived in now. Oh, more recently they've been blocked off. This used to be totally, you could look in here. It's like Scientology living. I love these courtyard apartment buildings. Very well maintained. Hey, JK. How's your Saturday? Hopefully you are somewhere cool. I was somewhere cool. This is a really great little Normandy style apartment building. I bet there's plants, what's supposed to be in the planters. I don't really like that kind of porch though, the one that kind of connects all the apartments. That means everybody can walk by your front window. You can never just hang out and your bloomers. So we're gonna walk over to Vermont and then walk up to Barnsdall that way, and maybe like I'd like to scoop into the, like upper Vermont too, little villagey area, and see what's playing at the movie theater. Oh, thank you. We are so happy to have you. Wow, you owe me a Coke, Joe. It is just literally perfect in the shade, but as soon as I cross the street, it's gonna roast in the sun. Actually glad I didn't go downtown today, which I wasn't planning on doing, but I feel like after 2 or 3 days of heat, it just holds in those concrete structures. So this is a restaurant called Sappy's. It's been a couple different things since just before the pandemic, and I really don't remember what it was before. This whole area is a little like hipster area. It's called Sappy's now. Our neighbor gave us a gift certificate. I don't know where that is. It's very nice of them. I don't know that I'd ever eat there. The oyster bar is over there. Vegan store. I feel like anytime I walk by Scientology with my camera, they kind of like gawk me. I don't know if that's a word, but I'm going to use it. Oh, sick room to the stars. Jane Mansfield gave birth to her fourth child here at the Cedars of Lebanon Hospital. And Marilyn Monroe recovering from her appendectomy at the Cedars of, I almost said Cedars of Maryland Hospital. Look, she got a free book. Oh no, that's a greeting card. No more appendix. So now, I think it's dorms for Scientology. Definitely looks hospital-like, giving it the blue color so it will kind of blend in with the sky is probably smart. We always think of Marilyn in August. I remember when I was a kid, it must have been some anniversary of her death. It was like the very corner of my mind. I shouldn't have said the D word, I know, of her unaliving. There was like a National Enquirer commercial on like maybe it was the 20th anniversary. Yeah, and it was like, what really happened to Marilyn Monroe? And then it showed a picture of Marilyn Monroe. This is where I think my memory is messed up. And then her lips moved, and it said, murder. And I would walk around saying it like that all the time. I guess this was my first sign that I had Marilyn Monroe hands. Sorry for the ums, it's hot. I'm about to walk by Wendy's. Maybe I'll go in for a Frosty. I'm kidding. Frosty is kind of like a soft serve, but you have to eat it with a spoon. It's too much for one-handed. Hello, Dominus. Happy Saturday. We're in East Hollywood. I've always wanted to eat at this cafe for some reason, the LA Rose. Although for some reason, in my head, I thought it was like a French cafe, like La Vie en Rose. I think it wasn't until I walked by it versus driving by it that I realized it wasn't called La Vie en Rose. Oh, I was talking about these kind of signs, and I actually misremembered this sign as being in the south end of Boston. Not the liquor sign, but the Hires root beer sign. Pretty cool that they left that up, since I don't even think that exists anymore. We're almost the opposite, except we've gotten some kind of nice rain in the past couple of months. A little bit of rain on and off. So we're gonna walk up Vermont. A nurse's uniform store. Here's another misread sign. I used to think this was Blanca's Deli, not Bianca's Deli. The sun is so... I'm so happy to have the sun. And constantly. And the amount of vitamin D we get. I could use a few more rainy days. I don't like a half-assed rainy day where it's just gray and misty. I want like rain or sun. But I'll take the in-betweens. They make for good photography. Another old hospital. That is Hollywood Pres. The only hospital, aside from maybe the one I was born in, that I ever spent the night in. I do want to take a super duper second to thank all of my members today. I know that the Chimera cut out during my thank yous, so I definitely want to be sure to thank them. So I had to recreate the Chimera. I can't do it in Vision or Vision Prism anymore. It's a little more complicated, but you are worth it. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, members, so much. Hopefully that's the video. I hope you got a chance to check out the Wax Museum video from last Tuesday. We are gonna do another kind of like museum video this Tuesday. I think I might go to Ripley's, or I might do something else, but it's gonna be along those lines as the Hollywood tourist theme. So again, thank you guys so much. It's a pleasure creating stuff for you and sharing with you. All of you, really. So, just above Sunset, this area gets kind of cute. Well, above Hollywood. You gotta get to Hollywood. Today is the first day that we're using Nightbot. I wish I could rename it like Sheila or Honey Kitten. I don't know, something more fun than Nightbot. So if you ever want to go to Griffith Observatory for free, this is where you catch the Dash bus from, right in front of that Keysno Subs. Okay. I want to venture out, but I'm afraid as soon as I do, we'll have to run. Everybody else is doing it. And it's turning. Hey, LA Unknown. How's it going? Happy Saturday. We're in East Ho. I don't think Joseph likes it when I say East Ho. I have to tie my shoe, of course. So let's see how quickly I can do this without knocking over the camera. Sorry if you saw the bottom of my shoe. These are my old sneakers I'm wearing. They are, I think I've really worn through any comfort in my newer sneakers in the last 6 months. Like the heel is like indented from the weird manner in which I walk. I don't know. I don't remember where I saw it called East Ho, but I kind of like it. Oh. Yes, we don't say East Ho. That's right. Why don't we? So, like this particular area, I swear to God, I've been coming here for years. It's just at the top of Vermont and above Hollywood. I don't think it has a name, but I referred to it as Los Feliz, or the village of Los Feliz. It's super cute. We're gonna take a left here so we can head into the. Ooh, I don't know if I can enter the park from this way, but we'll find out. So I figured a romp through Barnsdall would be a little easier on my nerves than a romp through WeHo. If we can't get in this way, which I suspect may be the case because I feel like I remember exiting this way and pushing a gate, we'll just go through this little strip mall. Maybe I've just heard people say West Ho before, and that's what it is. Yeah, it's a gate. Let's go through this strip mall. Imagine it's 1970 something, and this place has just opened. It has a Radio Shack, an Osco drug, an L. I was gonna say El Pollo Loco. I don't think that was around. A Pioneer Chicken. It did really have a Radio Shack here. I remembered it. I had to come to Radio Shack for a cord, a record needle, something like that. But the main reason why I come here is Joseph and I used to go to this Fat Burger. We would drive, and it's really not that far from our house. Um, Drive and eat in this parking lot. In the car, not just in the parking lot. So it's weird that there's so many empty shops on this thing because there's a supermarket and a Rite Aid on the end. Those are usually really great anchors. Hey, Ty! Happy Saturday. Sorry about that robot yesterday. We missed you. We saw you and then we missed you. We ended up banning the robot. It's back though. So, late night Fat Burger, this is the place to go to if you drive. There's also like a little place to sit outside, which I have done. I think this is the first, maybe the first Fat Burger I ever ate at before I moved here. That also could be a total mismemory. Another uniform store. I'm just trying to get out from behind those people a little bit. Okay. And so, along with old-timey restaurants that don't exist anymore, um, H Salt Fish and Chips. I think this is like a LA version of Arthur Treacher's or Long John Silver's. I don't think the restaurant is actually there, although it was recently. If it is, I think this is a definite live stream opportunity. I feel like it's not here. It's now called Sea Salt Chicken Fish and Chips. Eventually everybody chickens up, right? I think the sign is more exciting to me than the location. Oh, well, the location is for lease, so there is no longer H Salt Fish and Chips. There's a restaurant next door to H Salt that looked like a, a sell-it-all restaurant. Pizzas, subs, burgers, shawarma, and boba. That restaurant looked not so fun to me. It already feels cooler near the green space. Hiya. I overheard my neighbor saying something, I hope they don't watch, last night that I was just like, gross. They were like, what do you think's better on my Rolls Royce? I don't remember the two options, but I was like, who says that out loud? Maybe they were playing a video game. That's what I'm hoping. They weren't a neighbor that lived in my building, otherwise I'd know they were playing a video game. Ooh, we're getting a little closer to the sun up here, so a little hotter. Oof. It was just a weird thing to hear screamed out. Almost like Khloe Kardashian saying out loud, should I put velvet on my G-Wagon or da da da. Oof. A little out of breath. It is a little hot. I did get water though. Knock on wood, but somehow the water bottle has managed to stay inside of my pocket. Joe keeps trying to convince me to do a walkthrough with Grand Theft Auto. That's Silver Lake and the hills. From here, you can see the Fat Burger sign. I don't think I'm allowed over here though. There's a sign that says something about a staff. Oh, reserved. It's reserved. So I don't know about you, but I don't think there's anything better than like lying on the beach on a hot day or like under a tree on a hot day in a park. Hey, focused. Happy Saturday. We are in East Hollywood. East Hollywood. East Hollywood. Um, we kind of decided not to gay pride it this weekend. I really feel like a I live in Hollywood, so I'm gonna go to Hollywood Gay Pride. Hollywood's the original gay pride parade, also the very first one. Not that that matters, but it does. And we're gonna try tethering our data next week. I just feel like it's the last day of the month, so my data gets a little sluggish. And next Saturday and Sundays, or Saturday and Sundays, Gay Pride in Hollywood. So I figured we'd tether, my data will re-up. Even though I have unlimited data, they do buffer you. So it wouldn't be like going to Venice Beach. Wherever there are crowds, streaming, it gets a little difficult, even when it's at the beginning of the month. I wish it were 66 here. It's 78, according to my watch. No, I'm sorry, it's 81. But that's down from like 87. So, yeah, it's 80 now. So everything's kind of heated up and warm. That's why I thought the park would be a cool place to catch some shady trees and check out some picnickers. Get some views. I never walk over here. I'm probably not allowed over here. It's the Junior Arts Center. We're going away on the weekend of the 21st. I'm gonna put out my September, whew, my quasi schedule this week. Probably not before tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll be live streaming closer to 11 o'clock area, or 11:12 around there. We definitely want to go down to West Hollywood. I just don't think it's conducive to streaming. What were you doing? Where did you go? Hope you did something fun. Whoa, I've never seen people over here actually. That's how hot it is. People are willing to sit under the trees. I'm gonna walk a little slower because it's a little cooler. This is the Municipal Art Gallery, which I've never seen open. Never. I feel like they used this house on America's Next Top Model or something one time. I don't know if that's the only way you can get it open. As if Tyra Banks is filming a show. These are the stairs we passed, but I didn't walk up. I kind of took this slow ramp up. Olive Hill, which is the hill that we're sitting on now, and there are olive trees. Really, if you walk around the top of this hill, it affords you some pretty fantastic views of Hollywood and Los Angeles. So we're looking at Griffith Observatory. Some really cool little Armenia churches. I don't know that we can cut through here, but we're gonna try. We can. This must be special parking. Oh, it was a hot couple days. I think one of the days, one day was pretty cool. One day was supposed to be really hot, and it wasn't. Again, we are missing our fountain here. We really don't like fixing these fountains.
Excuse me. Do you have any idea where the theater is?
I feel like it's actually straight. I see it from here, diagonal.
Oh, it's right there. It's not
Yeah,
far.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm hoping that's the theater. I'm pretty sure it was. Like the other Hollywood Hills. Century City. Cool. We got a little closer to the edge. It smells like Coppertone or Bon de Soleil. I cannot see the screen at all, so welcome. If it's your first time here, feel free to like and subscribe and chat. One of us is answering the chats. Back at the Kaiser building. Hey, Tecate. I could use a Tecate right now. This is exactly the type of day where a non-alcoholic beer would just hit. It really feels like summer. Like if I woke up and you're like, it's July, I believe you. It's been hot for 2 days. I guess it's a mini heat wave. No ice cream on my horizon today, but that's okay. I had some ice cream yesterday. I think it's the last day for the baklava. This looks like a little cruisy little trail, although I've been on it many times on this stream. I got the thumbnail picture from the first time we walked here. And that's before I had this mic set up and the gimbal set up, and I've improved. I should have done that sooner. I always feel like a shit show, but I feel like watching some of those first few live streams, the sound, the way the gimbal worked, I've come a way. Not quite a Virginia Slims long way, but I've grown. No Emmys yet, though. or Tubies, whatever you get on YouTube, a Webby. I am falling down a dirt hill. Not really. I am going to have to order a new hat from my website, from my merchandise site soon, because I have sweat in this hat that I'm wearing so many times, and whatever I use on my skin, the sunscreen or moisturizer, it's kind of like changed that and my sweat has changed the color on the band, and it looks like this hat is 40 years old. I've also washed it a bunch of times, and I think the fabric isn't sticking to the cap part, not the cap part, the brim. We're gonna walk back down the front way, the way that we came in, instead of, that's the entrance I wanted to go in originally, right there, the Vermont one. I mean, you saw the hat. I told you about, I showed you that stripe on the hat, Joe. It's like my sweat is bleach or something. I wish these trees smelled. They truly are beautiful, especially when they bloom in sync all at the same time. I wonder if anybody else is streaming from Gay Pride in West Hollywood today. Seems like somebody would be doing it. We always see YouTube videos later on, like edited videos from Gay Pride, which still have some family-friendly risque stuff in them. I just really don't want to get a copyright strike. Or whatever. I think the jacaranda barely smells, and that may be because in my neighborhood, it competes with night jasmine, and that is what Hollywood smells like to me, just night jasmine, which is a lovely smell. And we're gonna stick with that. Not all of Hollywood. I'm really bummed about the fish and chips place, to be honest with you. I also didn't realize parking was so ample up here. I still would have walked, but I feel like one time I came here and maybe you weren't allowed to park on the side here. I wonder when these olive trees, if ever, grow fruit. Oh, hey! Where is Clay today? I have to say, I mostly was pretty lazy. I had intended to stream earlier, but once I walked the dogs and it was like 82 degrees, I was like, I might definitely be doing a few more night streams in the summer. Just for a chance for the temperature to go down. I make it sound like it's 115 and we live in Furnace. We don't. It's not that hot. Just for me. I want one of those. bicycles that you lie down on and really stretch your legs with a sunroof or a roof. Don't forget, glass owl mystery. The owl watches everything. I didn't plant that there, it was already there. Oof. I also need to do some a little more evening streams, but I want to do like Ventura Boulevard or the Valley, but mainly Ventura before it gets too hot too. LA Unknown has mentioned that, and I've mentioned wanting to do a little more Valley stuff. Valley is just as interesting and fun. A little hotter. I wonder if is the Valley hotter than Pasadena? Because Pasadena is totally grody, temperature-wise in the summertime. I love all the birds flying over Fatburger. I should maybe reconsider going there. So, we are at the end of Hollywood Boulevard. This is where Hollywood becomes Prospect Street, which was the original name of Hollywood Boulevard. It's a really smart fact. I love this street because it has a real village-like feel. It used to be pretty cool and artsy. I think it's relatively expensive over here now, as is everything. I love the Sarno sign. I don't think that's ever been here though, in my time. Pizza di Napoli. And then we've got High Tops, which is a really hot burger joint. Actually, in West Hollywood, it's always pretty crowded. Maybe it's not today because that's where the party is. In WeHo. I've been to Calabasas once, and well, I've been there more than once, but I had to get out of the car in Calabasas and in Woodlands Hills in like August. And it was SFM, so miserable. I used to work in Arcadia and Pasadena, and I remember driving to the 134, right? That what turns into Arcadia, and like the second you got into Eagle Rock, it was like somebody opened the oven door, and it was just radiating heat. I have no idea what Angel Youth is, but that sign is. I've been noticing it for years. I have a couple pictures of it on my phone. I don't think I've ever looked into it. Little cute shops up and down this area also, and vacant buildings if you want to open a cute shop. This is a somewhat reasonably priced vintage shop where you can kind of find cool stuff. I have on a couple of occasions for somebody else. Here's the Dresden. I think this was in Swingers. Fun fact, the old lady in Swingers, I can't remember her name, she worked at the Beverly Hills Market when I first lived here. Elaine? I'm not sure. I hope it's still open, the Dresden. We need more good time German themed bars. Oh, someone left the lid to their salad. I think actually this is the vintage store that is better than the other one. I can't remember. I almost never buy vintage or anything that matter. That's not related to live stream. I feel like I'm in Oak Brook or some Chicago suburb. But just for a second. Uh, the movie theater. Friendship and Sinners. I kind of wouldn't mind seeing neither one of those movies, actually. That's gonna take the opportunity to walk through this mist. And then I'll have to wipe the water off of my lens. I'm gonna walk through their restaurant. Shade. Playing some cool music. Despite it being utterly hot, I wouldn't mind sitting outside and eating if it was shady. No sun though. I don't want to sit in the sun. Maybe this is what put Sarni's out of business, the Palermo restaurant. People prefer Palermo pizza versus Napoli style. Here's city famous House of Pies. I have to tell you, I'm not really a huge fan of House of Pies. I love their pie carousel. That's really old time kitsch, but it basically is just like a Friendlies or a Denny's, something like that, but with pie. I don't remember if the pie was great or if I even had pie. I can cross. My shoelace is untied again. I'm gonna pretend it is tied and keep walking. Did you see soft serve somewhere? I didn't. Does House of Pies have soft serve? Let's peek over. Look at all those people eating pie. Oh my gosh, there's really somebody standing there. I feel kind of stupid now. Ooh, a picnic table for me to put my foot up on and tie my shoe. It's actually not a picnic table, it's a chessboard. I don't realize we had that much of a chess culture here. I don't think I've ever seen people playing chess in public in Los Angeles. I've definitely seen dominoes. during COVID, I went to this post office to actually, I needed to sign for something, or I don't know why I needed to physically go into the post office, but I couldn't hear the guy behind. I'm sure this happened to a million people. I couldn't hear the postal worker behind the sort of plexiglass sheet hanging over. So I leaned. It wasn't even like covering up the whole thing. I don't know what the purpose of it is. Or maybe there was no plexiglass. I leaned toward him and asked him to repeat himself, and he screamed at me in front of a crazy line of people. I It was a misunderstanding for sure. Um, and I was so humiliated and angry. Um, I did not scream at him. I like just in. I tried to explain myself, but it was too late. Once I leaned over, um, I was just a contagion. So I just felt really humiliated and kind of never forgot about him. And so, lesson learned: do not lean over the counter, even if it's just a little. This store over here, EK, which we just walked by, YQUE, was like the hottest store when I first moved here. They were like the ones that had the free Winona t-shirt before anybody had t-shirts that said free people. I'm surprised it's still there. I wasn't that close. I like just kind of leaned in. Because also, like, I think I don't have the best hearing sometimes. I mean, I can hear everything. I just don't always understand it. And remember when people first, like, had masks on and stuff, and everybody was paranoid? And the person standing next to them was the Black Death. The Mask of the Black Death, a little Edgar Allan Poe reference. But I was definitely paranoid about things at that time. I remember seeing people wear gloves but no masks, or masks but no gloves, and thinking that the people that wore gloves were just stupid because it was coming through the breath, but it turned out that that wasn't so stupid. Weird time. I feel like I keep going postal. I feel like, well, that's why I probably didn't scream back at him. I didn't want him to go postal on me. Also, it was honestly my error in that moment of leaning towards him over the counter. Now, in the before times, what I did was pretty normal. You know, I wasn't throwing my whole body, I was just leaning towards him. It's hot in the city. There's some shiz going down on every block. We're gonna walk towards Thai Town now. So tomorrow morning, unless I for some reason sleep late, we're gonna do the other flea market in Silver Lake. And I'm gonna try to do it earlier in the day before the heat sets in. On Monday, I'm gonna take. I don't usually. I'm gonna post my schedule for next month. my tentative schedule. The only week that there will be a kooky mix-up is the week of the 21st. We're going out of town, so I think one of those days will be live streaming from out of town. The other one, we're going to be driving. I don't think you want to live stream drive. I don't really know how that works. I think my car has the internet. It is sure hot, Mac. I have a linen shirt on. I'm really tempted to unbutton it down to my belly button. I am kind of sweating through it. I'm wearing a black backpack, but I'm happy to be walking around. There's a really nice breeze. It's not all doom and gloom. We still have not turned our air conditioner on yet, or checked it. So for the most part this month, I took Saturday streaming off the table. I am streaming this Saturday, and I think I might have streamed last Saturday or switched it. I think I might leave the Saturdays like up in the air and keep my other days solid. I haven't really thought it through. Is it not safe to walk? It's only 80 degrees. If we were talking 100, I probably would have canceled. It was 87 earlier. I'm really affected by the heat or cold. Like when it's a little cold, I'm freezing. When it's a little hot, I'm roasting. Thin skin. I'm saying lack of body fat. I'm kidding. I don't really know what it is. I just turned to that guy. Looked like he was turning away, and I saw someone cover their face yesterday, which I've seen people look away before, but that guy, when we were walking in City Hall, he literally like just covered up his face so kind of dramatically that you wouldn't have noticed him, except for the fact that he did that. There's that church that we saw from Olive Hill. I'm pretty well hydrated. I have a water on me that hasn't fallen out of my pocket yet. Nope, it's still there, my backpack pocket. And I had some water and coffee before I left. And coffee is like 99% water. I'm going in the shade for 1 second. I just want to see. I just don't want to miss any of you. So again, let's see, we're almost an hour here. I want to take a second to, again, really thank my members who kind of some of you guys missed out on the thank you yesterday. So super thanks to you, you amazing members. We'll try to get something less obtrusive, but this is all we could come up with. The original graphic we were using couldn't handle that many names, which is a win, right? So we literally had to go into Wondershare and create a tiny movie of it, which is slightly harder to do than my previous Prism chimera, but it's worth it. Big love to all of our amazing members. Thank you for your support. And if you're watching for the first time here or lurking there, please give us a thumbs up and like and subscribe and chat. Really helps us with the algorithm. The more likes, the more we can do. The more subscribers, the more we can do. I think the unsafe thing about walking in this heat is actually being in the sun without sunscreen. I do have sunscreen on, but I think I'm at my darkest tan despite that, which you really shouldn't even tan. Where is Circus Books? Circus of Books is in West Hollywood. I can't go anywhere near West Hollywood because we would not have a signal. It is jam-packed for Gay Pride down there this weekend. We are going to be visiting, actually, the Hollywood Gay Pride next weekend, because that's where we live. How much do you want to sit out here at this yellow table? Hey, hey! Hey, if I missed anybody, Super Sunny. Saw She Clicks Breaks, Joe. I do have a hat. I'm wearing my Walking in LA hat, which I have destroyed with my acid-like sweat. I also washed it a bunch of times. You know how a baseball hat can get? So the first time I wore it, I ate something chocolate on the stream and got chocolate all over the brim. I don't even remember what. Maybe it wasn't chocolate, it was the tiger tail. And I got like chocolate all over the brim, and then I washed it. And I think that this combination of serum and moisturizing whatever hydraulic acid I put on my face and hyaluronic acid, not hydraulic acid, and sunblock kind of bleach out the hat brim where it touches my forehead. So I need to buy a new one. I think I am going, of course, going to buy something from Walking in LA website. I think I'm going to get a trucker hat with a mesh back, which is really not my look, but it breathes. I really do love this hat, so I might get another one of these. I probably just maybe need to wear a bandana under my hat to absorb the sweat. So we're at the other end of Hollywood, by the way. I have not walked down to Sunset. We're going. He's singing Freebird, by the way. I don't know if you heard him. I wouldn't have recognized it, although of course we all know Freebird, right? I wouldn't have recognized it except I was doing something last night and a commercial came on and it was just playing Freebird. It had to be must have been YouTube. I wish I could do this in sandals though. I have socks and sneakers on. But I don't think, unless I got like a pair of Teva sandals, with a strap on the back, I don't think sandals are really conducive to this much walking. I never really walked this end too often. It's funny that you say that because I have a bunch of those headbands. from exercising with the virtual reality goggles. The Sony, whatever it's called, we have that. And so I would do this workout, really intense workout. My sweat kind of ruined the goggles. It ruins glasses too, by the way. My glasses, you know that film, if you have glasses, that film they put on the inside of glasses, like right by where my glasses hit my nose, it totally like wears away right there. And so I end up usually having like a blurry spot. No, the PS5 VR2, that's it. So there's Griffith, kind of our guiding light here. There's Jumbo's Clown Room, which is an LA legend. Look it up. I love a Viewmaster. I used to love anything that kind of recreated like 3 dimensions. There was this one book I had when I was a little kid. It was like a hologram cover, so if you turned it, the characters would kind of move. But it was Tom Thumb. And it was like a 3D puppet sort of, probably something left over from the 60s book. And we also had a Viewmaster reel for it. So you could then see those 3D pictures in the book, but like through the Viewmaster. I loved the Viewmaster. Those were simpler times when we could all get into a still picture. And then remember those movies that they used to play on in school, and it would be like a projector, but on a film loop thing, and then you would like have to change the slide when it beeped. Boop, and then you would change it to the next slide, so on and so forth. I always loved when I got the opportunity, it probably only happened to me once, to be in the image turner. I don't really know what it was called. The slide changer. They love rock and roll. They do. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Ooh, coffee shop. Masks encouraged. I don't have one. Oh, I've been there before. I didn't wear a mask. They didn't encourage it either. I've mentioned this a couple times, but there's a motel coming up here. It's not this one. Oh, it's way far ahead. Never mind. I didn't say a thing about a hotel. Hey, look, they have adult movies here. Like we all don't have adult movies in our pocket if we want them. Wonder if that's still a draw. Cute, the Harvard House Motel. I am not wearing sandals, Brave Bull. I don't know if you can see my sneakers. I'm trying to show them to you. And I'm showing you a little more than I want to, but hey, that's live. Now I'm upside down. No. There we go. Hang tight. I would show you my sneakers, but it causes all kind of havoc. They're Nike Pegasus Gore-Tex. What's really fun here is that the gimbal turned off when I did that, so I'm just turning it back on. There we go. Seconds. I don't really watch adult movies. I just think it's mentioning that why would you need a hotel with them when you have them in your pocket? I admitted nothing. I have a really beautiful tribute here. It's crazy because I don't think that that used to be locked up. I kind of remember touching it. I don't know why. It was probably wrong, but look at the old Taco Bell trying to pretend it's a Thai barbecue restaurant. We recognize you. We see you. Here it is. So this motel right here. We'll get to the sign in a second. So they're going to make it a historical landmark. It really feels like something that you'll see in the valley, like the Safari Inn. I mean, it's the Safari Inn is cooler but like it's got a pool. You're really swimming right here on Hollywood Boulevard. They've got free Wi-Fi and a kitchen. I kind of think there are so many other things worthy of being a historical landmark, but I kind of love that they're thinking of doing it. Have you ever stayed here, Brave Bull? I would stay there. I love a cheap motel, actually. When I go on vacation, I'm usually not, I don't stay at a cheap motel. But when we go on vacation, I usually just stay at an inexpensive place because wherever I'm on vacation is what I'm there to do, not stay in a hotel. It has a pool though, Brave Bull. You could swim, get right out in your bathing suit right on Hollywood Boulevard. Jump off that diving board in front of people waiting at the red light. Maybe a director would spot you. I would never stay there anyway. I don't even think I would swim in the pool. Heck, I won't swim in the pool in my building. Which doesn't look different from that hotel, actually. I love this building. I just don't think you can have air conditioning there. I don't see any box conditioners in the windows. Joe and I almost lived in a building like this called the Dover on Beverly. It was, we had two choices. One was the basement apartment, which was freezing great. And the other one was the penthouse, which was also really breezy and great. The building was from 1905. And so we were a little scared about the balcony, our dog running over the tiny balcony, or just earthquake in general on a building that old. Hey, Mark, I have been inside the Chateau Marmont a couple times. Once for a party in one of the like suites that was bigger than my apartment, and then once for a event. I saw a screening of a movie at the Directors Guild, and they had an after party there across the street at the Chateau Marmont. Belushi room, no. I have not been to the Belushi room. I saw Harvey Weinstein that night, actually. I forgot what the movie was. He was there, and he like stuck his knuckle in my back to move me. You know how when someone's in your way and they're standing still like a dope? Me. Um, and you need to get by them, you say something like, "Pardon me, excuse me," you may tap them on the shoulder. He just like nudged the small of my back with his knuckle, which kind of threw me off. And then I turned around and there was Shrek. Hey, hey, the Hummer. Happy WeHo Pride. I'm not sure if we're going to head down there tonight. The festival is kind of expensive, I think $200 a ticket. We're definitely looking forward to Regho Pride, or regular Hollywood Pride, this upcoming weekend. We've been going to that for the past couple years. No, he had somebody, he was like pulling, uh, I'm not going to name the person. He was like bringing somebody along and I was in their way. I wish, oh, black truffle wings. What a groovy house. Or it's now 7 apartments. I feel like it's crazy that it's so expensive. And I was saying earlier, no offense to West Hollywood, but it's the West Hollywood one seems a little more polished and I don't know. It's just a different vibe than, and maybe that's the Pride scene changing. Hey Mel, how are ya? Happy Saturday. We're sort of wandering around in East Hollywood. We took a little walk to the park earlier, and now we're sort of at the tail end. I have got to get dog food before that Petco closes. Let's walk down Russell. I don't think I ever have. I'm gonna double check to see if anybody is streaming from WeHo. I'm not going to, but I would like to see how they do it. Hey, BD. Happy Saturday. Welcome, welcome. We're just walking through East Hollywood. Went to the park. Got some views from the Topo Olive Hill. Walked through Little Los Feliz. Now we're sort of wrapping things up a little bit. I'm glad you were here. The rainbow capitalism thing, Joe, is kind of now it's like $200 in West Hollywood. The festival that we're going to go to next weekend, the original Gay Pride, the first Gay Pride parade and festival, which is in Hollywood. Again, still before it was legal to be gay. I looked that up after my rant about the Metro car saying celebrating 75 years of Pride. Because I was like, is this displaced? Like, I wasn't really anger, but I was kind of puzzled by it. So it says celebrating 75 years of Pride. When you look up what they're celebrating, it's the Matachin Society, which was a bunch of the word escapes me for some reason. It's the heat. Let's just say gay protesters, right? And those people, you can look them up. They were arrested, they were harassed, they were listed because it was illegal to be or to practice sodomy until 1976. A gay person could be arrested until 1976. That's less time than Roe v. Wade. So I'm going to leave you with this gay pride message. Like, if we can talk so much about trans people and rolling back all of their stuff, there'll be somebody after that to roll back on, and somebody after that to roll back on. Always stand up for the little guy, because you're the next little guy. Anyway, enough about politics. Try to keep it upbeat. I don't want any trolls coming after the channel. Well, any more than normal. I gotta cross the street. And then I'm gonna recross the street. It's really tough being a dog, I think, or being my dog on days like this, because I can walk them really early in the morning, and then it's kind of dangerous. I have got shoes for one of my dogs, or slippers, or whatever. And yeah, I love this building. It's historical, and it's on the National Register. I was saying when I was walking by it, there's like no air conditioning in this building because it's too old, and anything would take away from the actual kind of look of it. And then I walked up here because we're passing by this no-tell motel over here. It's not really a no-tell motel. I just saw Dad and his son at the checkout window when we walked by before, but it's an old rundown Hollywood motel that they're going to put. They're making a National Historic Landmark, or a California landmark. I didn't realize they had little nice back balconies also. Oh, a lot of parking in that hotel. Motel. I've never seen people swim in the pool, which is right there. Like, doesn't this look like something from Florida? This is downtown Hollywood Boulevard. Not exactly downtown. Shouldn't, like, in case there's some clandestine activity going on there, I probably shouldn't be filming people checking in. Want to go swimming? I'm going to use that for a thumbnail. Or maybe we'll just... It's not that rundown. It is old. It actually could look a lot worse. The owners, I think, are not interested in it any longer because I think they interviewed them about the designation and they were like, it's hard to run, it's cha-cha-cha, we don't know how much longer we're going to be doing it. And then there's the Dixie Hollywood. That seems like a fairly new one. Also with the pool. I would swim in that pool though before I would swim in the other one. The other one's just too visible. Yeah, there's another, this one's all movie star themed inside with some of the worst likenesses I've ever seen. Like Lucille Ball as played by Nicole Kidman. I don't think she was a very convincing Lucy. Or Elizabeth Montgomery as played by Nicole Kidman. Which I don't, again, think she was a very great Bewitched. I love her, Nicole Kidman. No. So here we are at Hollywood and Highland. We're at Hollywood and Western. Remember from our Hollywood punk walk? This was like the place where all the punks hung out. Still a place where people hang out. I can't walk on the platform. It goes to the Starbucks that's closed. There are certain sections of Vermont Ave that are really cute. It definitely was in its day some kind of beautiful boulevard because there are still remnants of that. The original USC or UCLA was right there. It's now the community college. And there's beautiful, 1920s buildings. So you guys, I'm gonna check out just slightly shorter today. I have to buy dog food and Petco's right here and it actually, I think, closes at 6. So I'm gonna grab it before I forget and then head home and take a shower. I'll be going 99% sure to a flea market tomorrow morning. A different one that we went to last week. And then probably around 11:30, 12, like the 12 o'clock hour-ish. We'll do that. I want to take one more second to make up again for not thanking everybody yesterday and run this to thank all of our members. Thank you so much. Tuesday we have a new members video. I can't decide if I want to live stream or I want to go to another museum and tape it, so we will decide by then. We're going to go to the flea market in sort of Echo Park, Silver Lake tomorrow. It's free to enter. It's sort of a posh flea market, but I think the flea market that we went to last time was pretty posh also, as far as flea markets go. So thank you guys for your support. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. Let me get rid of this black box right here. I will see ya tomorrow. Have a good night. If you're in LA, try to stay cool. If you are somewhere hot, stay cool, drink lots of water. We'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Bye.